This is Cornelius Neal here. Welcome to not just any K-Bell Game Day, the Little River Rumble edition of K-Bell Game Day right here on Idabel's first 96.7 KBEL. And hey, we'd like to welcome Coach Kincaid on to this morning's show. Big game today as your Idabel Warriors host the Broken Bow Savages. It's a 7:30 kickoff right here in Idabel. We're going to talk with Coach Kincaid, and let's get right into it. Coming off of a loss to a good Valiant team in week 0, you had a bye week. And how did you and the Warriors take advantage of not playing in a game last week? And, I know that definitely is going to include healing up some bumps and bruises. So we'll give you a chance to talk about that.
The bye week was big for us. It gave us the opportunity, like you said, to get healthy a little bit. It gave us opportunity to work on us a little bit. That's been our motto and our mindset the last 2 weeks is, it's about us. I don't care about what anybody else is doing, what other teams do. We're going to prepare for other teams, obviously, week in and week out. But we want to prepare to be the best team that we can be week in and week out. And I think that we've seen a lot of improvement out of our guys and a lot of general understanding from that first game. Just taking different things that we've seen and what we need to do differently and change up some things. And so I'm excited about that.
Okay, going back to the Valley game for a moment, there actually were some bright spots. I know we lost 35-20, but there were some bright spots that, the team learned. You can learn from the team is such as, for one thing, taking the fight to the Bulldogs in the second half. Y'all basically played an even half in that second half, and I love how they didn't roll over and let this game just get completely out of hand. If you want to expound on that, as far as the team and what the coaching staff saw.
Yes, sir. Well, that's one thing about these kids that I've learned and been around them for a while now is that these kids don't quit, man. They fight. They're fighters, and and they're really good kids, and they really get after your butt when they're down, and hopefully we get some of the head down stuff out of the way, and it's about the next play. The next play mentality. It is what it is. We'll keep moving forward, and just like in that game, like. They got down, and we brought life back to the stadium, and those kids, that's all credit to them and their fight, and now we can control some things differently and, be ahead of the curve.
Yep, with that game under your belt now as a head coach, now having a bye week, moving forward, that's going to help you get prepared throughout this week and, weeks ahead. We have Ashdown next week, and does that help you as far as – game day prep itself, now having that game under your belt as a new head coach?
Yes, sir. I mean, I definitely looked at some things differently, and I learned some things that week and during that Valiant game, and we really self-assessed ourselves as a team and as a staff, and we did some things differently. And so I'm excited about the new things that we have in and new things that we're excited to do and look at this week and next week before we get rolling in the district. I think it'll make us a much better football team.
Okay. Also, early this week, the JV team picked up a victory in Valiant. So, didn't get a chance to make it over there, but what happened? What went right for the JV team in that game? I didn't even hear a score, but definitely shout out to the JV team. And your chance to talk about what happened Monday evening over in Valiant.
Yeah, man, our young guys, man, they went over there and competed well, man. Our middle school ended up losing by 6 points, 14-6 or 14-8. At Valiant that day, 7th and 8th grade combined. And our JV team went over there and won, I believe it was 18-12. We scored on a walk-off touchdown to win the game, with our mobile young quarterback, Jacorius Frost. He went in there and scored. The O-line did really well protection-wise in the run game. We ran the ball really well in that game. We wanted to let those guys see some alignment things and some just playbook things that they need to learn, and that's why they're a little bit behind. But I'm excited that we have these opportunities to play these JV games for these young guys to get out there and get some game reps and game experience, man.
Next JV game, I know the next middle school game is Monday, Tuesday this week?
Middle school and JV Monday, 5:30 and 7 versus Hugo. So here.
That's here, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so hey, come out, check out the Idabel Middle School team and the JV in action at home against Hugo on Monday. And we'll definitely mention that on the next edition of the Warrior Minute. We're going to go ahead and get into this week's opponent, the Broken Bow Savages. But first, we're going to take a moment. We're going to shout out the middle school softball team. They actually beat Broken Bow yesterday A team won 7-5, and I caught some of the B game, and I'm certain they won as well. Gonna give Coach Watson a chance to brag on them during pregame during tonight's broadcast because he has a pretty good team going over there. So shout out to the middle school softball team. But tonight's opponent, Broken Bow, 2-0 on the season. They've beaten 2 Class 5A teams. They've eked off a couple of close wins over both Durant and McAllister at home in Broken Bow. So let me get your thoughts on Broken Bow when you first watched them on film.
Yeah, Broken Bow is a good team, man. They have some good athletes over there. They're young up front like we are, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the opportunity to go out and compete. Little River rivalry, Little River Rumble. It's always a crazy atmosphere and a great atmosphere. I know Warrior Nation's gonna pack out the stadium and have our backs here in this one, and we're gonna go out and give them a show and put up a good fight there, and come away with one here. So
absolutely, definitely want everybody out there at Warrior Nation Stadium tonight. I know it's going to be a packed house, likely standing room only. How's practice been this week getting ready for Broken Bow?
It's been amazing, man. Their kids' energy and effort's been flying around, man. They've been all the way up. And like I said, it's our mentality been it's about us, preparing our team and our kids, preparing each other to be the best that we can be, the best version of ourselves, And so instead of, we prep for the opponent, but, instead of worrying about them, we're worrying about us and doing what we're supposed to do. Because if we align right on defense, we make tackles, and we do the things that we need to do, we'll be successful.
I know you probably had this question. We're going to call it the $1 million question. How do you contain Broken Bow quarterback Graydon Howe? Dangerous guy.
That kid, man. I tell all my buddies back home, man. That kid is a special kid, man. I mean, not just as an athlete. I mean, as a person, man. I mean, he's a really, really good kid, and I like that kid a lot. But he's a great athlete and a good quarterback, and I'm excited that. We have the opportunity to see this as we have a district opponent that has a similar quarterback like him. And so we're excited to get this challenge. And, big thing is just, like you said, man, we're going to contain them. We're going to make sure that, we keep them in the pocket as much as we can and beat them to the spots as we can, man. And make him make plays. And I know that he will because he has his whole career so far. And but we're excited about the opportunity to get after him. So
absolutely, and it's not just him you have to worry about. A couple of names we're going to mention here that actually have some ties back here to Idabel, and your running back, your halfback / tight end, and also linebacker Cade Pratt, also running back Jatarius Snooty Neal. Also, even we can include wide receiver Dejan Hall. He has ties back to Idabel. I remember he actually played. I remember him playing youth football down here. So, we got a lot of these kids know each other and, going to have chances to, defend and have meetings with, not meetings, but make your presence felt.
Yeah.
Would be the best way to word it.
Those kids are good, man, and they have some other good ones over there as well. Dejan Hall is a really, really talented young receiver over there, man. I like his game. I like his energy that he brings. Obviously Snooty and Cade are real familiar with our program. I'm real familiar with them. Love those kids to death, man. And but tonight, it's all about the Warriors, and we're gonna get after it, man. And hopefully, show them, hey. Wrong choice, man.
Absolutely. Back to what Chris Harris used to say, the Warrior side is the best side.
Absolutely.
And they got feeling in between these lines tonight. But also ways to attack their defense. I watched some of that Durant game on film last week and into the early part of this week. I did see there are ways that you could, especially in the passing game, expose some things, make some downfield plays, and I know there have been adjustments made. I know you don't want to tell your game plan or anything like that, but definitely ways to get things accomplished offensively.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, offensively, we've been watching them for about 2 weeks now. We got the film on them. We watched them and seen them. I'm excited about, this opportunity to go against this defense. They're fast. Their D-line gets after it every single play. Obviously, they have a really good linebacker in the middle in Cade Pratt. And then, when Graydon Howe's on defense, he's a threat to do something all the time. So, I'm excited about the opportunities we can expose and in their defense. And, I'm hoping our guys just get after them. It's they don't have a physical dominant guy over there as like a King Golston over there. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully our guys can get after their defensive line a little bit up front, and we can get some push and, really just take care of business.
Right. And this is going to be one of those games, like, if you stay within striking range, anything can happen by the time the clock hits zeros at the end of fourth quarter. That's one thing that I know you've preached throughout this week. Keep them, at long arm's length. It'd be great if you got the lead at some point and, everybody plays better from ahead. But, I know thoughts across the river is they want to, get up on us early and have a big lead going into halftime. But if you keep it close, anything can happen. And you got to play all 48 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that they have that thought process over there. A lot of people do have that thought process, but I'm glad that they feel that way, and I'm glad that they're feeling confident coming into this game. We're excited about it. We're very confident about it ourselves. So just as they are, we are as well. Okay,
getting into also this week, I know we talked off air. You told the players to stay off social media as much as possible. I know you have your naysayers on one side, and then you have people that will just, gas you up, like telling you how great you are. I know Nick Saban named that as rat poison a few years ago, and that's actually a good term to use. So, because you read your articles about you and listen to everybody, even us here at the station, telling you how great you are. But, at the end of the day, it's you and your teammates and your coaching staff. How's everybody been able to lock in and focus?
I mean, for this game, it's you don't have to ask those kids to get focused and locked in for this one. They know the severity of this game, how big it is for the communities anyway. For us, like I said, it's just another game for us. I don't have very many Idabel Broken Bow ties. I mean, I've been here in Idabel. I absolutely love Idabel, and I'm not gonna say despise Broken Bow, but I love Idabel, and I'm Warrior Nation through and through. So, I'm excited, that our kids have been locked in and focused and, just preparing, like I said, I'm going to say them over and over again. It's been about us this week. We're not getting into the back and forth stuff with them, and it's just about us. We're going to prepare for us and work for us and play for us. That's what we're here for, play for our kids, each other, and their community. So,
hey, definitely appreciate being locked in and everything, and hopefully it'll all come out on the field. Once again, 7:30 kickoff. We'll have this same interview. This will air about 6:40. That will take you right into pregame with myself, Aaron Empson, Lonnie Watson. You never know what guest may pop in during pregame. And before we get you out of here, give you a chance to give some final words for Warrior Nation before we get you out of here, and so we can get you back to class.
Well, I know with this game, Warrior Nation, that everybody's going to pop out to this one. Despite what you may read or see on social media, from naysayers or whatever it may be, the Warriors are prepared, and we're going to show that tonight that we're prepared, and I'm excited about the atmosphere that we're going to get from you guys tonight. I know that you guys are going to come out and be loud for us, be loud when they're on offense, be loud when they're kicking in the kicking game, make some noise in the stadium, man. I expect thousands of people here tonight, and I know that we can accomplish that and get out here and support these kids and support these young men that are out here, laying it all on the line to go get a W versus their rivals that hasn't been done in a while.
Hey, we definitely appreciate you coming by, and